Hello, everyone. Andrew Stanley here talking about how pulse and microwave communications, like those that run your cell phone and that drive the Frey effect, have been used to exacerbate and cause and extend addiction problems in the United States of all kinds, especially the opioid crisis. It's the year 2019 right now as I'm filming this. We all know how that went. Wasn't good. So, when you're trying, and we've all done it in our lives, right? Maybe you want to eat better, you want to drink less, you want to whatever it is, you want to get smoking, drugs, alcohol, doesn't matter. It can be challenging to change your behavior and to change those habits, right? And maybe something you'll think of, you drive by a restaurant and you'll think, oh, they have that. I want to go in and get that cheeseburger or that ice cream cone or something like that. And basically by Siri, the commercial comes on and it reminds you, it's hard to stop thinking about, smoking or drinking or whatever if you're always being reminded of it. Well, under the umbrella of the Frey effect and pulse microwave transmissions, which of course are used to communicate between cell phones and towers and satellites. Pulse microwaves are very, as Dr. Alan Frey put it, very user-friendly. They're a very small wave. They can be very easily directed. One dish can handle countless numbers of communications at once. The way that every person in the United States can be on their cell phone at the same time is because of pulse microwaves. They're sending data back and forth. Obviously, if you can watch TV on your cell phone, then you can you're clearly understanding how pulse microwaves can send large amounts of data between a device and a tower or a satellite. Well, in neuroweapons and microwave weapon attacks, those systems are being pointed at humans. And the reason using, of course, as I've said before, biometric data and infrared. So you can track the human's body and use that. The computer system then uses that like a tracking system and uses the beam to interact with the human's head. Now, of course, the Frey effect was discovered, wasn't called the Frey effect, but in World War II, sailors were cleaning radar equipment, got too close to the equipment, had ringing in the ears, popping, energy flowing through them, kind of felt like they were electrocuted, had very odd sort of symptoms. Dr. Alan Frey replicated those in the 60s, so therefore it's called the Frey effect, and then since the 60s, every country in the world has been trying to weaponize them in some way. Obviously, we know that your cell phone, you can watch TV on it. So it can receive images. Those same images can be transmitted to the human skull because, as Dr. Alan Frey put it, the human skull is a surprisingly good antenna. The way this ties into addiction is that if you're trying to stop doing something, you can create an artificial environment and send repeatedly images or a thought or a memory of using that drug or that food or that alcohol to a person. So the reason why it seems like people just can't get off the opioids is because they can't stop thinking about them. And they're not really thinking about them. They're receiving microwave transmissions. It's called a holographic transmission. It looks like a memory. You see it sort of in your head. We've all experienced it. All of a sudden you think about an ice cream cone. You're like, oh, I really want an ice cream cone. That can be done artificially. It doesn't mean that you've never thought about an ice cream cone. We all have. It just means that it can also be done artificially. And it's funny how this has affected, I shouldn't say funny, it's not the right word. This has affected people of all walks of life, of all socioeconomic classes and backgrounds, rich, poor, everything in between. When we, as a society, figure out that this was being fueled by pulsed microwave, and when I say weapons, they're not weapons. It's a weaponized version of something that we all use every day, which is our cell phone, okay? When you realize that that can be artificially created using that equipment, we're all going to have this aha moment where we realize just what has happened. Think about how many people have died. Think of the healthcare costs, how many people have suffered, all the overdoses, the families that are grieving, having lost someone. And you thought, oh, my son or daughter just can't get off that. It's because they can't stop thinking about it. And they can't stop thinking about it because, as Dr. Alan Frey put it, rogue elements within various countries and governments and militaries will go outside of the normal channels to use this equipment in ways that benefit them. There's no oversight, no one's looking for it. Everybody at the top, politicians, Congress, the military, everybody knows, but no one wants to do anything about it for various reasons. You can watch my other videos to try to get an idea about that. This has been happening the entire time. It's affected you. If people are overweight, they're drinking too much, they can't stop with bad habits, this is why. Holographic transmission, the microwave auditory effect, the Frey effect, that is what's causing it. You can, however, help yourself. Case Electronics, a brilliant electronics engineer, was having some troubles, serious health complications that were Frey effect related. And he was a very smart guy, and he understood that the sine waves, SINE waves that are used in pulse microwaves can be disrupted and interfered with by creating very specialized binaural beat programs that a person can listen to, which will interfere with pulse microwave transmissions. If you have someone who's struggling with addiction, go to antitinnitusv2k.com, buy this inexpensive treatment, and it will help them. I used to have a lot of health problems too. That's what led me to this. I was having the same health problems that the Cuban diplomats were having. I was having the same health problems that Dave Case was having, and it happened to him in the 90s. I went to the doctor. I went through everything. I was, irritable and really struggling with these health problems. And as soon as I started using Case Electronics product, my symptoms, my irritability decreased by 50% in one night, and have steadily decreased since then. I use the treatment every single day. It saved my life. I've said that in other videos, and it could save your loved one's life. If you know someone that is struggling with addiction, this is why. Now, that isn't to say there isn't some kernel of addiction inside them or a drive to do it, but it's a whole lot harder to get over when it's being put right in front of them. That'd be like printing out a picture of, pills or food or alcohol and putting it all over their house. Imagine if someone wanted to get off of drugs or deal with addiction, and everywhere they turned, there was a picture of the thing they're trying to get off. They'd never get off it, and that's essentially what a holographic transmission is. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for educating yourself a little bit, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.